I won't say names. Did you hear that? He won't be watching.
You're being recorded.
But we all assigned our parts, and then he volunteered to put all the parts in the same document and turn it in. We got it back, and we got like a 75. What happened? And we go in and we start looking, and we're like, our calculations are all wrong. Like, that's not the formula that you're supposed to use. You've gone in and said, oh, well, David and so, they didn't use the right formula, so I'll just fix that for them.
Oh, no.
And it got marked off because it was wrong. All of our numbers, our actual measurements were right, but then all the calculations were completely wrong. Off by a factor of roughly 10. But not exactly 10, where we could just claim it was like a decimal place error.
Right.
So like, okay. So next time we need to like do it, we're like, before we do anything, we're like, okay, look, appreciate you putting it all together, but like, why'd you mess with the calculations? He's like, well, I fixed the formula. I'm like, no, you didn't. That's why they're all marked wrong. And this was like a very fundamental formula in this class. And in all 12 of the lab reports, he attempted to fix the formula for us. To the point where we started, and like we told the TA, and he's like, work it out. Figure it out. And so we started taking turns, essentially, saying, okay, every 3 weeks, every week, one of the three of us gets to stay up until 4 a.m. when he finally emails in his part, and then fix it all, and then print it out to turn it in. And he would go in at like 2 a.m. and put in his part, and then run through changing everybody else's. It's like, all of our numbers got wrong. How could you possibly think this is the correct formula? Absolutely. Just behind here.
And he's a great guy. I call him up. I go,
We're only going to be in here in a minute. Yep. Oh, nice to meet you. All right. I think I've seen your face. How you doing? I saw your comment that you were going to be here. I could have told you something trails. I'll do this, but hey, I'm happy to let you try to cover it.
Hi, how are you? Good, thank you.
Packet available online, a public packet that has a explanation to the council.
Just want to let you know.
A summary that says here's why. I had heard of that in my conference. You're going to be there to answer questions. You obviously Castroville, TX.gov. So we can see our agendas. It's one of the very first items.
I'm good. How are you?
Ready for a fun, exciting evening? Let's roll.
Uh-huh.
well, thanks for coming.
Okay. I had to go meet a new engineer. They have a new one over here.
Is it Tondre or
Jeff Tondre.
so he's
He
I met him today.
He just started with. I met him down in East Medina, and then I had to meet him over here.
He was in one of my meetings. I said, I haven't heard except for you.
Pardon me?
He was in a meeting earlier today, and I said, I never heard except for you.
Yeah. Sir, how are you?
Some sort of close.
He
Hello,
from
sir.
Costa area.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, I know other Jeff Tondres, but I didn't know this one. It's okay.
How are you, sir?
How's it going? What's happening? Yeah, look at me. I'm like,
That's nice.
very bright.
That's fine.
It's very cool.
It's a mirror.
These are your city jackets.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you.
These are going to be issued. Yeah. They're going to be issued
At the Christmas party?
Luncheon, just, yeah. Just put it in my car. You find what I was talking about, Kevin?
I need to one.
What size is yours?
Okay.
The right size?
Anything that's inaccurate. I hope not.
No, it's
Is
a
it
double.
is it 1X or a double X?
It's a double X.
Mine is too. I was going to ask you if you need a bigger one.
No, I don't. I need a smaller one. But I can take this. It'll shrink.
We can get 1Xs. We got extras.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll trade you a 1X.
Can you trade me in 1X too? Okay, good.
This like too big.
I didn't want to say anything unless somebody
Tried it on and it's still.
It might be a little.
Hey, another one, Scott.
Is yours a what?
Double X.
Your double X?
Yeah. David there, he's probably a small.
No, you're a super
It's
small.
not. There's no X's.
There's no X's.
You're no X.
Yours
You're
is a
just a
small.
large.
Yours is sleeve and these are unsleeve.
No, this is sleep.
It's got sleeves.
Oh, this is sleeve. I'm sorry, I stand corrected.
Okay. I did a regular X.
This is double.
Okay, they're all double.
We are on live stream now, so
Hello.
we are live streaming it.
You look very smart.
Hey, I can fool everybody. There is snacks on the table
Appreciate it. Thank you.
for this evening that I'm not feeding you a lot because I expect us to move it on.
That's it.
It'll all be good.
Arnie said if we not finish this meeting by 6:30, he's going to be disappointed.
6:30, I can't imagine that, but 8:30.
Arnie says a lot of things. By the way, Pat, did
Oh.
Arnie tell you Pat's in the hospital?
No,
Yeah,
I haven't talked to him. I saw him briefly for a second.
He went in the hospital yesterday morning.
Feeling bad? Or?
Well, it appeared, Arnie, from discussion this morning, he was dehydrated.
Oh,
Who was?
Pat?
Pat
Morantz.
Morantz. Arnie was supposed to meet up with him Sunday morning
This is
for
from
McDonald's.
the library.
And he didn't show up, so
Group about-
Arnie went over there yesterday morning,
Okay.
Monday
I
morning,
think it's to
found him
talk about
inside
the,
his house,
Apparently
not
not.
really
Wonderful.
lucid.
remodel and stuff.
Sure.
And then, so Arnie called
Sure.
the doctor, then called EMS.
Okay.
Everybody getting this on?
Thank you.
And so they took him in. and
Lee
they were
is the one I think they
pumping
sent to you
fluids
as a liaison, and he has.
in him, But he was just,
Credit.
yeah, like, used to say dehydrated. So Arnie was supposed to let us know if we
I
could go
just
see him
now
today, and
gave
I
you
never
one.
heard from Arnie. Didn't hear from you, Arnie.
Yeah, Arnie, we never heard from you.
I did.
And Pat, if you're watching.
I haven't looked at the,
Get
Hey,
better.
Pat.
What is
the language in the ordinance or the policy to see if you're right or not.
Oh, you're not supposed to power wash.
Yeah. I don't think it provided any,
Good.
my recollection is it didn't provide any guidance on this is when it just said you can't use it.
Nice.
Well,
What's
there's
this?
a water restriction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a guy on
Busy. Busy.
He had a failure and he was power
Okay.
washing off the old septic.
Excuse me.
Yep.
It's 5 p.m. We're going to call this special city council meeting to order. And I just want to make a notation that all council members are here. We have a quorum. And we're going to go right now into recess to executive session. City council will convene in closed session pursuant to the Texas Open Meetings Act, Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code for one or more of the following authorized reasons. Executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.0711, when the governmental body seeks the advice of its attorney about A, pending or contemplated litigation regarding Larry Arnold, and 551.0712, on a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the governmental body under the Texas Disciplinary Rules of Professional Conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with this chapter pertaining to the drafting of the personnel policies and procedures for the city of Castroville and any other matters which may arise. We are now recessed for executive session at 5:01 p.m.
How long do we think this is going to take? Do I need to take my chair in there?
Would hope it wouldn't take long.
All right, live stream will stay on, so y'all can get up and have a, do whatever you want to do. Dan, I'm gonna leave this. You sign right there. You're fine.
Oh, yes, that's true. Sir, I'm you, sir. Sir, I'm no.
Yeah, there you go.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Yes, you have to go to the, just past the pyramid hall, and then take a right, there's a little hallway to the left. So just through, all the way through, yeah, right, and then you'll see a hallway on the left. It's on. Sure.
So, or close the office.
Okay. Okay.
my birthday channel. If I could, so it's always kind of a natural, you know. So I did last year. Christmas Eve. Yeah. Sure. Right. But, it's, you also do this equipment. We do, okay. I think these are all supposed to be incredible. Yeah. These are all sort of digital. Yeah. Sisters. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh, it's really, yeah, it's really. 13. 13. Okay. So, where she was? She was at Castroville. Okay, yeah. But last year she was on Great Hills. Okay. And so now she's going to all these. Yeah. Oh, yeah. She gets straight into study. Really? So they'll have to push here. Academics can catch up at some point. Yeah. She can't be lazy for 4 more years. Well, if you do like that kind of stuff. Yeah, she's for freshman year, she signed up for a class. Okay. She's signed up for RTC. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Even if she does something else. Yeah. Okay. That's why she's doing RTC. Yeah. My daughter's really close friends. She probably said that it was a little girl. Scholarships. Wow. So we went this summer for graduation. Yeah. Yeah, there's some good sales teachers, so there's some good ones that Last week I had. It's 2 years and I'm talking about, say, yeah. That's why we kind of, each kind of take cities or. I'll do something for, actually, some of them. Yeah, it's right there, yeah. It's a short run. Burning areas. Yeah. Right, City Hall. Closer to the hills. It's easier. Yeah. Actually, do a little bit more. It's one of the shirts. You don't know the falls, I'm not sure. Really? Yeah. So she did it. It's growing. It had, what's it was. After every day for. All things. So, I know it is. Right over here. We're trying to get back to schools. Just, all. I was going through CNS. Oh, it is. We're in water. Partially with blood. It's a closed system. All kinds of work. Controversy versus city. Actually, tell a few things I can enforce. So he is. Okay. But so. How much percent is he still telling them? It feels the keeper reports these, so, a lot of this one, she said she's on, so. Okay, yeah. So those. That's okay. That's, who's here? So here, hands from the 12 lines. Okay, does she have a partner right there? She has someone for this next relationship is, works for example. Yeah. Her name's Easy. Very changed. Okay, someone started,
Handshake, yes. Melissa. Virginia.
Okay.
So I served as a federal project under Selden, still my law project.
Okay. Right. I would just like it.
Maybe Scott. Yeah. So, yeah, or something. So we were last year. Yeah. Yeah. So,
But just enough. That's a lot of was, or was it? Yes, yeah, that's where. So there's really as her distributed or anything, right? Two defined characters. There's executive perception. That's amazing. Lots of. For the E-bodies.
exchange again, she's not going to have to do that. Just say if you get this one. But she wants to see your thing. Yeah, go back. But it's, we said we get it.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Sand it in right.
Right. Yeah, she got down there.
I'm pretty sure she put it right. So,
Yeah. That's what we did.
Once you exchange. City, that's city. Bigger city. All of it, all of it. It's really nice to all finding all the gifts given around and all the food. That's good. Things going well. At least you got your red light, I was not in this land, so.
Part of my other lives, I used to stay with Christmas, very close to Halloween.
They're still in executive session.
That's not official.
Yeah, always happening, always happening. Let us know when, where, and
So like the worst case. It was.
So go with you guys, like you officers, is all that going on.
Yeah. So the office. I'm asking
I
for.
really enjoyed it, it's like I said.
Yes, if you go to the end drive, there's a whole room.
The judge always wants to share.
Can you find the folder that says like casuals, the barrels,
Yeah.
and tell me what, like, it would make me think like.
So that's,
Okay, so the folders are favored numbers, like one is January, two is. I was like, that was not good.
wow.
Freedom. Berkshire.
It's in four.
Start painting the room yet?
They will be in our room probably for at least the first 6 months, and then they'll move into the
That's good. Yeah.
it is like
Same phone.
it's got bunk beds, there's a trundle.
Okay.
So 5-year-olds on the lower bunk, 8-year-olds on the trundle.
Okay.
Sometime a year from now, 5-year-olds can go up on it. They get promoted out of the drawer onto the bed. Or my wife has a growing 5-year-old into my office, and my new office will be our uninsulated. We'll see. I don't like my house.
The attorney's blood sugar's gonna drop. I'm like, gee whiz. I'm like, gotta have something here.
That's my kid.
This is in Japan, or?
Yeah.
Our brains, we share brains.
That's my munchkin.
What's the most connection?
He'll always be my munchkin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, be munchkin.
So,
I'm gonna pass this down for you guys, to take a look at it, pass it back.
Okay.
One of them is I'm gonna bring up tonight, and Administrator, it's the ditch on the property next door, the Geneva drainage ditch, which I think is an absolute safety hazard. And here's a 101-year-old guy's gonna get a green flight at the airport on the 30th. And, be
and
nice
a
if
steering
anybody- Yeah. So just take it and pass it. You need to go to this, by the way. This is this 101-year-old guy. He's going to take a flight to Castroville on the 30th. It's at 12:30. I've got a couple of them, but they just pass it down. And I'm showing some pictures of the ditch there at Geneva.
You understand what I'm talking about the square with flat, the bottom?
Yes.
Bottom ditch. But then you still have surface drainage.
Yeah,
Instead of a round pump.
if you could basically not make that a drivable surface again, but if you put a culvert there, you can move the whole thing forward a little bit and have more drivable.
Absolutely.
But to me, and we've also blocked the drainage off of Mr. Hancock's. He's got a dirt that high there. And they've already ordered the mat. Just take a look. That's my truck sitting there. And as you move back, you can see how deep that sucker really is. What do we got here? About 4 minutes. That's Hancock's, and this is a berm they raised to do it. So that's going to
Maybe
change the runoff from his property. Okay, and this is looking. This is back at the river looking forward. Now, when it floods, all this is going to wash away.
Yes,
It'll
sir.
go-
All of our staff are okay.
Now you can one more picture, you kind of get. This is maybe the
Oh,
same
yeah.
twice.
it is.
I just wanted to show you the scale of. Yeah, same as this one.
Yes, sir.
The scale.
Yes,
of,
sir.
This yours?
Yes. You want it?
Don't take a
No,
look,
what's the
take
worst thing?
take a look at those.
Uh-huh.
What's the word?
I can go get my own.
Did y'all want tea? We have tea back there too with ice and all you need.
Okay. You already
You
saw
go back
this
to
guy,
anyway.
101-year-old guy.
Okay.
Yeah, 2
Let's
minutes.
see what I'm
Huh?
doing.
Deborah, thank you all very much for the jacket.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Whoever got those, but I think somebody
We
picked
did.
our clothes a little bit too.
Oh,
Well, I hate to
Well-
break it to you, Bruce, but you know how they got my size? You ask my wife.
Well, and it may be that, I don't know what size they gave you. We may have some, we can exchange out, but they
I
also,
haven't tried it on.
My foundation is. Will pay for the next 3 days.
I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay.
Why don't you guys,
yeah, the size, look at
the city, here's one for y'all. That's a guys that fly here up in the month, 101-year-old out there.
How you doing, sir?
I'm hoping there's out there.
Very good.
You're what? Oh.
I want to come and say hello before we go. Just Christmas in Castroville.
Oh,
I'm gonna wear that to work. I've been wearing. I think it after me. I'm only 2 weeks, so I'm gonna wear city stuff that said, "Where's your loyalty?"
what's that?
So yeah, that's okay. I'm good.
You need, that means you just have to stay with me.
Was Miss Felicia here? Is that who you are?
I didn't see you for a while.
I brought it to share. Are you gonna go to that? Okay.
Sure. What time is it?
All right, let's get this done.
We're gonna reconvene this special city council meeting at 6 p.m. And let's go ahead and start with a roll call, please.
Sheena Martinez, District 1.
Houston Marchman, District 2.
Bill King, District 3.
David Mers Jr. for District 4.
Robert Lee, District 5.
And Bruce Alexander, Mayor. Let's all stand, please, for. Don't we do an invocation first or the pledge first? Pledge. Let's do the pledge of allegiance. Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Go this one. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you. Now we're going to call on the invocation, please.
Let's pray. Lord, we thank you so much for today. I thank you for this council and the time that they spend to improving our community. Father, we thank you for this beautiful day that has moisture falling in our area that so desperately needs it. I pray that you would continue it. Lord, we just ask that this meeting would go well, that everything would go smooth, that the agenda items that need to be addressed would be addressed, and that the decisions made in this room would be best for this community, for its people. I pray your blessing on this council, and our community thanks them. It's in Jesus we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. Okay, folks, we're going to move right into citizen comments. Excuse me. Let me read this. The city council will hear comments from any citizen or visitor. Speakers must address their comments to the presiding officer rather than individual council members or staff. Stand at the podium, speak clearly into the microphone, and state your name, residential address before speaking. Speakers will be allowed a maximum of 3 minutes for testimony in accordance with the State Open Meetings Act. The city council is restricted from discussing or taking action on items not listed on the agenda. Action can only be taken on a future meeting. Is there anyone who would like to speak at citizens' comments? No one? Okay, thank you. Then we'll move on. Before I move on, I just want to let everyone know that I believe we still have, do we use those sign-in sheets in the back? That if anybody wanted to speak about an agenda item, you can sign up and turn that in before that agenda item comes up, and you'll be allowed to speak on that agenda item, just in case you wanted to. Okay, let's move to item 8, which is presentation. This is a presentation from FPC is it Arch and Pew Constructors on the City Hall remodel and library expansion. Mr. Dixon, do you want to take it from there?
Sure. So I'm introducing two folks that should look familiar to you that are helping us with the design build. As you may recall, several months back, council hired the dynamic duo of Pew Construction and FBC Carson to help us with both the City Hall and the library. So they have a very brief presentation tonight. It is included in your packet, and I will bring it up momentarily. I'll be honest, I was just firing up my computer, so let me get that real quick. But this will be pretty short. We're just looking for direction from council. First off, it's feedback. If you want to speak to kind of where we are in the timeline, and I will bridge what you said. Did that come from you, or did that come from? That's what
He's taking away your time.
Sorry.
No, he's not.
Is this what turns the TV on, Mr. Dixon?
Yeah. That's what turns it on. Good luck. You want to taste one?
There we go.
Did that one turn off?
It's the same.
Yeah. Give me 1 second, because
Yeah. While you're waiting, I just want to welcome everybody that's watching on our live stream. Okay? I'm glad to have y'all with us.
It's nice to hear the dripping. Hopefully it's in the downspout and not inside the roof.
You mean it's actually raining? Wow. Wow. Hope it rains all the way home. No offense, I hope you're safe.
I saw the weather before I came, and there's weather coming this way from eastbound from 90.
Okay. Can you see something else?
Sure.
Good, great.
Oh,
This
yes,
is in a
yes.
PDF. It's not a document, so I am just going to scroll. Okay, so first we have the library options. But did you want to talk through kind of where we are? Okay.
Yes. Well, to the council and mayor, thank you all for having us here tonight. As Scott already introduced, we are your design build team. We responded to a solicitation earlier in the year to propose a feasibility study and an estimate on both the City Hall and the library. My name is John Christie. I'm president of Pew Constructors. We're a general contractor out of San Antonio that focuses on commercial and historic buildings. And we were proud to be part of this opportunity. So with that, I'll turn it over to Allison. She'll talk us through the process and where we're at, and we'll be here to address any questions you have.
Thanks, John. My name's Allison Chambers. I'm a principal and architect at Ward Powell and Carson Architects, as Scott mentioned, and my specialty is historic preservation in existing buildings. So we were excited when we got to be called to work on this project, and we've been working with Scott and some of the other members on kind of what the goals are for the renovation of City Hall and the library. We're going to stay real high level today and just kind of focus on cost so that you can see what's realistic with the budget at hand, and then we can talk about how we want to move forward. So if you scroll to the next one, Scott, we're going to start with the library. Keeping things really fast and high level, we started with option A, which was prepared by a previous design firm. And then we kind of looked at that as if you wanted to do full renovation, full build out, that would be kind of the option. Option B is a more scaled back option. I think probably what you would end up with if you did proceed with the renovation of the library would be kind of a happy medium, somewhere in between those two. So if you scroll to the next one, Scott, you can kind of see the cost comparison. So the full build out for the previous scheme that was developed is about $1 million and some change. And then kind of the scaled back version is around $500,000, just for reference. So keep that in mind. We'll keep going. I said this is going to be really fast. So next let's talk about City Hall. So again, we kind of worked with a previous scheme that had been developed by a previous design team for option A, and that included an addition, which is basically consists of vertical circulation, so a new staircase, an elevator, as well as new restrooms. That's all that's in that addition, along with the connector to connect to the 2 floors. We kind of worked very hard at FDC to prove that you don't need that addition and that you could get everything that you want with room to grow without that addition. So if you scroll to the next one, Scott, I think the next slide is actually just like the 2nd floor. We in the option B, which scales back, it is our recommendation that the highest and best use for the 2nd floor is to put council chambers upstairs, because it was meant to be a 1 room originally. It's such a grand space. It would elevate the council's and the court's authority. It would also be a nice flexible space, so we would kind of use non-permanent seating like we do here, so that you could use it for other uses when it's not a council or court session. And we included an elevator and a stair within the main building that exists so that you have accessibility. So if you go to the next one, we can talk about price tags for these 2 options. Price tag on the original option, option A with the addition, is $4.5 million roughly. And then the option B, which does not have the addition, is a little over $3 million. So that's a $1.3 million savings, not doing the addition. It's a small addition, but it's not insignificant as far as cost. So something to consider. If you want to scroll to the next one.
I think that's it.
That's it. Okay, so next steps. We are looking for advisement from you all on what you would like us to proceed with, whether that's to focus on the library, to focus on City Hall, or to focus on both of them. The next phase, once we get direction from you all, would be to move into design phase. And then we would proceed from that into the bidding with John and construction. So I can give you my opinion, but
Thank you. Oh, go ahead.
I want to clarify a couple of things. One,
Sure.
the recommendation when we discussed it, there's 2 things. One, you may have looked, and I appreciate Councilman Lee not bringing up that you can't see the floor plan, because that's partially by design. We didn't want you to hyper focus on the floor plans because it's really preliminary at this
nothing's
stage.
been designed. Read.
Really, the decision points are what you just outlined, which is whether are we going with option A or B in both scenarios, and whether we're trying to do the library and the City Hall. I'm not anticipating that you're going to give us this direction tonight necessarily. If you're prepared to give us some of that direction, that'd be great. But understand that our goal in talking to the mayor is we're going to have a laptop's doing weird things. We're going to have a CIP, a planning workshop, which we're going to set tonight,
Right.
meeting date in January. And we would like to be as prepared as we can, staff, to be able to empower y'all to make those decisions, start to allocate funds, et cetera. So having some direction is sooner the better. So if y'all are of a mind of which of these options you think are more appropriate, that'd be great. So first was floor plans, not set in stone. Don't really pay attention to that because we'll bring that back. Second is, do we want on the library, which option would you want us to entertain or look at? Understanding that you're not saying we're definitely going to do the library remodel, but if we're going to have to choose one or the other to focus on, which one would it be? And the same with City Hall.
Well, if I can really quick, and then I'll open up the council. Personally, if I had to choose, I like option B on everything. But again, like you said, we're going to be having a CIP workshop to make the decision on exactly which projects we're going to fund and use our funds for. There's no question this is on the list. And I like what you guys have done. But that's a decision that council has not fully come to yet. So,
Understand.
but that's my opinion.
Yeah.
I like B. Go ahead.
Well, I guess the agenda item didn't even talk about discussion. It was just a presentation.
Actually, I take it back. I'm sorry. Do we have an agenda item later on this?
I don't
We,
think.
you don't. The
Oh, okay.
summary that was delivered to you along with this said that we were going to seek direction from council during this presentation. It's not an action item.
It's not,
because
okay.
Well,
you're not gonna
personally
act on it
myself,
just
then
yet.
I prefer to put it off to the workshop.
I think that's, if anybody has any questions about the presentation.
I just have one.
Yes, ma'am.
Under the library options, since the kiosk is there, how would the kiosk be affected if we say go option A?
It's relocated.
In the current plan, the kiosk is not moving, or in both options currently. That doesn't mean that can't be revised in.
Up
As
is
we move
north, and it doesn't move the east wall.
Right.
Okay, I'm just,
Another
good
issue
question.
that Councilman Lee has not brought up, which I appreciate, which is parking. Because I want to make you aware, Councilman Lee, that is one of the directives that we've given this group or one of the challenges we've asked them to look into at both City Hall and the library is when we do make a presentation about whichever option y'all are going with, one of the things that we'll also talk about is parking at that time. We're going to talk about how we might look at parking, and that's where possibly your kiosk could be impacted. If we were to look at adding parking on what is the east side of the building, then potentially, depending on how drastic that is and what you all want to do there, you could impact that driving, right? But as of right now, those are not included. I would like, if possible, I heard what Councilman King said, but if you, the rest of you, if you know, hey, I like A or B, because what we'd like to do is not waste their time trying to present 4 options to you in January. If you know that either A or B is more appealing to you on any of these, to hear that from each of you would be very helpful.
Well, there's no action, it's just you're kind of
Right.
asking for thoughts.
Just for clarity, option B on the City Hall, that's, you do have an elevator in it.
Yes. Yes, sir.
I would
Absolutely.
I would go B on each side.
Are you going down the road now?
Yes, please.
I'd like to ask the attorney, how much discussion can we have? For not being able to have discussion, we're having discussion on a presentation.
We're just asking questions about the presentation.
We're doing a lot more than that.
Well,
but
we're
okay,
reining it in.
all right. People know my position. I would not spend that money on this building. It's inadequate. Having the council chambers upstairs will be a logistical nightmare for people coming and going. Grab this, grab that. That's a non-starter for me. For $3 million, we can build about a 7,500 to 8,000 foot brand new building, and I would like to have this team look at another proposal.
See, I feel I have to respond to you, but we're not supposed to have discussion.
No,
Well,
no.
Don't. And
You don't need to say anything.
Then that's it.
I do need a point of clarity from our attorney, because if it's listed on the agenda, which it is, and it's listed as a presentation, I understand. I don't understand why they couldn't have some discussion on it, understanding that no actions can be taken tonight, because generally that's what.
We are having a discussion.
That's what I'm saying, but
Can we?
How's that not allowed if it's
Well,
listed on the?
it's not an item for discussion. It's so any of the discussion has to be managed to the presentation.
You've answered my question. Thank you.
Has to be controlled to the presentation.
That's what I'm saying, we just need to be very careful.
Mr. Merce?
That's wide open. Anyway, the library, I would go with B, and maybe even get rid of the front part because we can do that more quickly. I would not do anything with this building.
Okay.
Based on I had in my notes to ask if the library advisory board had indicated a preference between something more like option A or option B, and then I found their draft strategic plan in front of my chair when I got in. Yes, thank you. And they have in bold and italics. Note, the Library Advisory Board would prefer an expanded footprint with a new state-of-the-art facility, along with renovating the current space to be maintained as a central location and satellite campus.
Okay.
So
That's
I just wanted to read that out to have that on this discussion.
I'll clarify that when you get to my library.
absolutely. Okay. Thank you.
So are you A or B?
I think I would prefer B on the library. I'm a little skeptical of B on City Hall.
But again, there's no action. We'll be having the discussions in January when we have a CIP. We were just making a very observation and comments concerning President. Thank you all very much.
thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay. We're going to move on to the consent agenda. And the consent agenda, we have the minutes for November 19th, 2025 special call meeting. And then adopt a revised ordinance amending ordinance 2009-009 and limiting the number of boards and commissions an individual may serve on.
I make a motion to adopt the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Because I do have a comment I want to make. The minutes, Deborah, I apologize for not getting you. Mr. Hoag's name is Hoog.
Oh, I'll change it.
Okay.
And I had a second one, a correction on A, on the minutes.
Okay.
Item 9A fails to note that I recused myself from that discussion.
He stepped down, but he recused himself.
You have it in one of the, you have it on the hearing, but not the discussion.
I understand.
Okay.
I will add that.
Thank you. Okay, and then the other one, I just want to make the comment on the revised ordinance is to correct the language from the ordinance we previously did to clarify that you cannot serve on the historic landmark and the P&Z at the same time. We have any other discussion? We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as noted. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Same sign? Motion carries. Thank you. Let's go to item 10, which is consider possible action resulting from items posted, legally discussed in executive session. There were no actions, no motions, no anything in executive session, and there's no motions to be made. So we move on. Item 11, the mayor's report. This is going to be interesting, so hang on to this one. Okay, since I haven't cleared this with anybody. Okay, you get a kick out of this one. Okay, we have three things because I keep getting asked what I want to talk about. And 2025 in review, citizen and staff appreciation, and Christmas lighting contest. Here we go. 2025 in review. When I first thought of making this report, I tried to think about everything that has happened in 2025 and that has had an impact on the city, and then question myself if everything I thought of mattered enough to talk about. I then realized that while there are several things that we can talk about that may or may not make a difference depending on your point of view, I decided to keep this report simple and just go over a few facts that I think everyone can agree on. Here goes. First, the city had two councilmen resign for different personal reasons in the first quarter of 2025. A former four-term mayor and newcomer to city council signed up to run for vacancies unopposed and were appointed to fill the unexpired terms. A new mayor was elected in May and took office in May of 25. Working through city council, the city has become more transparent in live streaming most advisory boards and commission meetings. We will continue to work on others to participate in this process. City council adopted a balanced budget with the same tax rate and adjustments in utility rates to provide a path for citizens to lower their sewer bills by documenting irrigation water use versus home water use during the winter average water use period used to determine sewer charges for the next year. City council has taken actions to rein in development agreements to be more in favor of the city as a whole. City citizen involvement has increased through more open communications and volunteer service to advisory boards and commissions. While there are many, many more things that occurred in 25, these are a handful of the highlights as I see them. Citizens and staff recognition. I want to take a moment to thank everyone that has come before City Council during citizen comments and or on various agenda items to share their position on issues that come before the city. I want to encourage everyone that has a question or concern to share it with myself, your city council member, or the city administrator, so we can have a conversation and come to a solution that is in the best interest of the city. I also want to thank everyone that volunteers their time, knowledge, and experiences serving on a city council advisory board or commission. Your input is valuable in helping city council make informed decisions on issues that come before the city. And a special thank you to the city staff. I was once in your shoes and fully understand what it's like to be a city employee. No matter what your role, you are appreciated and make a difference every day in the lives of everyone that calls Castroville their home. And finally, our Christmas lighting contest. The city is having a Christmas lighting contest for all residential and commercial properties in the city of Castroville that can earn you up to a $500 credit on your next utility bill. Registration is required by December 22nd to participate in the lighting contest. Judging will be done the week after Christmas. Please call City Hall for more information. The more participants, the better to light up Castroville for Christmas. Thank you.
Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
can I ask one question or say one thing?
Was I wrong?
No. You're good. I just wanted to say we have an applicant for the library here tonight.
Wonderful.
I thought my boards and commissions was on here.
It was.
I had it loaded with, and I'm sorry I forgot I can't say your last name. She has put her application in for the library, and then I also had Brian Griffin on there to be moved.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's at.
It was on there when we were
had-
making the agenda.
We had such issues with this one. I think it's a grim one. But it's not on tonight to act, and she is here to introduce herself is why. And I didn't know if we could make an exception and let her step
I
up.
would just have her do a reopen public comment.
If anybody doesn't have an objection, we'll go open up the public comment. And
I
we'll just,
apologize because I
That's
looked
okay.
in and I was like, it's not.
ma'am, could you step forward and kind of introduce yourself? And you got a few minutes or whatever you need. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Marcia Izaguirre. I'm a Castroville resident. I've been here for 12 and a half years. Prior to that, I worked as a journalist. For the most of my career, I was a television news producer for ABC News for about 3 decades. I cover stories throughout the US, Latin America, and parts of Europe. And I am an avid reader and a strong supporter of the public library. I feel that in a community such as ours, it gives free access to information and technology and a safe place for personal growth and human connection. And I would be honored if I could be part of the advisory board.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. And we can't do that because it's not on the agenda. So just a fact thing. I'm sure we can take care of that at the next meeting.
I'm so sorry because it was there.
She did, ma'am.
Yes.
One more time, your name?
Marcia, Marcia,
Yes.
Izaguirre,
Izaguirre.
Izaguirre.
And where's your residence?
At 1821 San Jacinto
Wonderful.
by the river.
Yes, ma'am.
The blue roof.
Got it.
Okay, yes.
I'm the lady with the
Okay.
blue roof.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcia.
Okay, let's go on to item 12, which is a public hearing. This is a public hearing to discuss and obtain comments regarding a proposed performance statement amendment to the City of Castroville 2023 Texas Community Development Block Grant Program, Community Development Contract, CDV 23-0365. Is there someone, Scott, you gonna take care
We're
of it?
opening a public hearing, so, but to introduce.
Oh, I'm
it-
sorry.
Go with time.
Let's call it time to open the public hearing at 6:27 PM. Please, Scott.
Real quick, since Kevin Pell made the effort to be here, this is Kevin in the vest. He's with GrantWorks. So I'm going to allow you, normally what I would do, Kevin, is just kind of introduce the topic, and then we would allow any citizens that want to have comments. So if you'll do that portion and just kind of say why we're doing what we're doing. Y'all have an executive summary in your packets. That's essentially what Kevin's going to speak to right now.
Good evening, Council. Like you said, I'm Kevin Pell with GrantWorks. We're the hired grant administration firm for y'all's Texas Department of Agriculture grant. We're in the course of construction. There was additional funding available to add some work to the project. So Respect, the city, and I worked on finding an eligible activity to add to the project. There are specific criteria that you have to follow to work to the performance statement on a TDA project. So we initially looked for water improvement works. Since it's a water improvements project, we couldn't find anything within the eligible LMI benefit area. So the best thing that we did find was adding 12 sewer lateral cleanouts. They're in the LMI benefit area, right in the same scope of the current project where we're doing water improvement work. But to add sewer activity to the water improvement projects, it requires a major amendment with TDA, which requires a public hearing and resolution for council to authorize the submission of that amendment to TDA. So that's what the public hearing is about, to allow citizens to comment on the addition of the sewer activity, and then there's a resolution on the agenda also.
I think if you'll hold any council comments, and if you want to invite people.
No, that's what I was going to do. Is there any members of the public would like to come up and speak at this public hearing? One more time, anyone would like to speak on this issue at the public hearing? Okay, would I be appropriate to close the public hearing, then we can have a discussion?
Yeah, the next item on the agenda is this resolution, so I would say
Okay.
that item. So close public hearing.
Let's close the public hearing on this item at 6:30 p.m. Okay, now we're going to move over. Actually, it's not right. Right off that is liaison reports, but if we want to, we can move forward.
Yeah, I would. It's up to you, actually. Whatever you would do here.
Oh,
Let's move 14A forward.
let's move 14A forward so we can get that taken care of, and then we'll come back to the liaison ones. Let's choose do that because it's fresh on us with this. The discussion and possible action on resolution authorizing a TCDBG grant amendment and conducting a public hearing, which we did, regarding the proposed changes to the project scope for Texas Department of Agriculture contract number CDV 230365. I have a question. Is this community development the grant? Is this part of an add-on to the grant that the city had for the water system improvements, or is it a new grant?
This will be an add-on to that grant.
Add-on to grant. Okay. So there were funds left over, or is just additional funds due by the city?
No additional funds by the city. The original sewer project was under budget. Water project.
Water project. So there's
was under budget.
So there's funds remaining in it.
That's correct.
Okay. So, once this is approved by the city, is it? That's it. It's approved. We're ready to roll with it, or do you have to make application for it?
It's just submitting the amendment to TDA, and then they'll review it and approve it. It's going to be the same contractor that's already under contract for the water improvement work.
Okay.
They're just adding it via change order to their contract, and then they'll start and finish that work.
How much was that grant?
The total grant, I believe, was $500,000.
That's what I wanted to ask, because I mean, it's that anytime we can get $500,000 worth of system improvements to the city, we're gonna jump on it. Okay, I just want to make my comment. Councilman Merz, did you want to comment?
No, I just had a clarifying comment, or question, but you've already answered that, which is that it was the extra funds left over, and we're just adding the sewer lines.
Yes, sir.
Or the clean out.
Councilman Lee?
No, great that you found a way to use those funds within the approved area for the good. Sounds good to me.
Councilman King?
Yeah. Did you all think of this, or did the city staff think of this?
The sewer cleanouts?
No, this addition, yes.
Yeah, to use this extra project funds.
It was a lot of work by Respect.
There you go.
I think they had a lot of the legwork to figure out, what was
It was
needed,
definitely a cooperative effort.
along with city staff, and then we went back and forth with TDA a lot to.
So people working good, you and Respect and staff working together. Good.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Marshman?
No, good.
Mr. Martinez?
So this is that one that's in my district?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I just request, just let the people know what's gonna happen and everything, that way they can plan their routes from going around the construction.
Sounds good.
But I appreciate it.
Okay. We're looking for a motion to approve the resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I gotta look at it. You guys talking, motion made and seconded to approve a resolution authorizing the grant amendment. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposition, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you very much. Move forward. Let's go back and let's talk about item 13, the city council liaison reports. Let's start with the airport. Councilwoman Martinez, I apologize.
You're fine. It's all good. So, airport manager said that he met with TxDOT, and TxDOT is highly encouraging everybody to put projects on the list, and that TxDOT will determine the funding resources available. The TxDOT said that the IIJA and NPE are two available resources for money, as well as the state has funds as well. They replaced the vending machines with actual refrigerators now in the room, in the terminal. They are removing the trees that are outside the terminal, thinking about making the stumps into like picnic table type thing. That way people can sit out front there and watch the planes and what have you. The sign out front is still being worked on. Ronnie, the new hire, is now fuel certified, so that's an added benefit. The fuel supplier contract is up for renewal in May, and they don't see any reason to switch supplier. Everything's going good with the supplier. The courtesy car policy, Kim edited the draft for the courtesy car policy form that they have people sign. And they are going to get it to the city attorney for the city attorney to review and give their input on. The brass hanger, Mike is working with Jenna and everything with the brass hanger. Ordinance Chapter 18, Division 3, Division 4, Safety. They are going to create a list of recommended changes, and there's the suspense for everybody on the advisory board to have their inputs in by the 3rd of February. They noted that there's a lot of updates that need to be done on it. The RFQ, the notice has been published for it. The hydrological report shows that for a low cost of between $400,000 to $500,000, work to be done to fix any hydrological issues is just moving dirt. $750,000 would be placing culverts, and a $1.5 million would put additional inlets. But this is based off of future plans for the airport. But these are all just recommendations from the report. Change pattern for skydiving to see and avoid environmental issues, and it's already being handled. Mike and Scott are having a meeting with the Medina Valley Youth Baseball Association to discuss the baseball upgrades that they would like to do. And that's everything. Next meeting is on the 6th of January.
Thank you very much. Let's move on to the library. Councilman Lee.
Yes, library had another great meeting. And I believe the lady that was here tonight may have been there. There was one with her back to me at the table. Yeah, so she did attend the last meeting, and so that's terrific. But it's still just a great group of people, and they're very enthusiastic. I had Mr. Dixon had some of the information statistically from the library director given to you that's in your packet, and then I asked Deborah to also give you the email from Crystal, who's the head of the group, plus their summarization of things that are important to them. And as comes up on each one of the meetings is their overcapacity with the people they're trying to serve. And so they run into that fire max, person per space issue frequently. I mentioned to them that this was going to be in the agenda. They were very excited about that. And they realized that nobody's getting a new building right now unless council determines they want to build a whole new facility for City Hall, the library, and so forth. And so, but they're anxious to have something done as soon as practical in order to serve the ever-growing community that we have. They're still working on their master plans and policies. They're excited about the things that we put on the budget for this fiscal year that have already been accomplished. And one of the biggies is the ADA entrance. They're still waiting to see about getting a grant on that. But just a great group of folks out there. And if you have the opportunity, please read through the information from Miss Farley and the handout that Crystal sent to me to pass on to you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Lloyd. Let's move on to Parks and Recreation. Councilman Mers.
The Parks and Recreation Advisory Board met on last Tuesday on December 9th. Their primary topic of discussion was recommendations on potential changes to the subdivision ordinance addressing parkland and open space dedication. They had an extensive and very active discussion, much of which focused about the cash option to provide fee in lieu of parkland dedication during the subdivision process. Some board members and the Friends of the Regional Park spoke strongly in favor of removing the fee in lieu of option, while other board members are concerned about developers being discouraged and de-annexing from the ETJ. No final decision or recommendation was made, and the board plans to have another workshop on the subject in January. Depending on when that happens, they may send a recommendation in time for it to get on the agenda for discussion at the joint council planning and zoning meeting, if we wanted to try and scoot things along, but that would depend on when both of those get scheduled. Jonah reported that community center construction has resumed and showed some initial plans for the riparian restoration project in the regional park. He also attended the BMA meeting, but was accidentally left off of their agenda. He introduced himself at Citizens Comments and will be returning next month. And a particular pipe in the splash pad has been identified as failing, and they think that may be significantly contributing to its lack of function, but won't know until they fix it if there's actually some other issue as well. But I believe it's a particular pipe they found that's like completely broken, like a foot outside the splash pad. And then it was not, would you like me to report on the Castroville Active Transportation Plan Stakeholder Advisory Committee as well?
I don't.
I was appointed as the liaison.
And I appreciate that.
Sure
Let's hold on that one because it's not on the agenda.
Sorry, I didn't even realize there was a meeting.
Yeah,
So,
I could.
but it's
I
a
could.
committee,
I
correct?
could send you my report,
please,
after, and then you could forward it to council.
That'll be great. Okay, thank you, Mr. Mers. Let's move on to Planning and Zoning Commission. Councilman Marchman.
Yes, sir. P&Z meeting on the 3rd of December, 6:30. Mr. Griggs attended first meeting, and Brian, who stepped up from being an alternate, just so you guys know, Jim, Val, and Marcus. First point of business was the Victory Lane Development Agreement, and it's on our agenda tonight. I read that correctly, and so I'll save you the detail there, but suffice to say that P&Z recommended approval. In that context, we're going to go through that in minutes also. 5A, they discussed signage, their signage code that needs to be worked, ordinance as Brianna discussed in depth. They took no action, but for example, specific lumens, height, size, when they turn down, when they turn on, you were there too. Yes. And then 5B, temporary storage. Right now, we're missing ordinance or code on how long and where that can exist. We didn't take an action, but that highlighted as something we need to do. 5D, workshop, February 11th was the date they're going for. And then lastly, 5E, Heights of Castroville, final plat.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Marchman. I know HLC's not on there because their meeting's tomorrow night, and we'll wait for the next meeting to have a report on it. Thank you all very much for what y'all do with those. Let's move on to item 14, discussion and action items. Item B, discussion and appropriate action on the Victory Lane Development Agreement. Mr. Dixon.
Do you want to have Houston give his report on B&Z, or do you want to share staff? It's up to you.
Excuse me, sir?
I said, So Councilman Marchman said he was going to defer his comments about the P&Z meeting related to this item. Did you want to go ahead and, did you want to go ahead and speak to those now, or do you want me to do my part first?
Go ahead.
Let's turn it over to staff.
Sure.
Mr. Dixon and Brianna's here, and you guys kind of go from there, please.
So you do have a executive summary for this item as well. As is noted, this was presented to the Planning and Zoning Commission. They recommended approval, but as you'll see from staff kind of recommendations, we're recommending that you consider several aspects of the agreement prior to the approval tonight. And I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses. There are a couple of key points that would need to be made to the agreement, or to the agreement that we're recommending. One is no cap on total reimbursable interest, city retaining only 25% of the new tax revenue, no performance milestones tied to the reimbursement. So these were kind of issues that staff identified in the development agreement that have not been resolved yet. Correct.
I think if I maybe I could help along if I just want to inject. You know, at the previous council meeting, we contracted with was it P3 and Associates to work with the city on development agreements, not only to review what we have, but also to work on any development agreements moving forward. And I would encourage council to engage them like we proposed, and work with us on it and kind of what's in the best interest for everybody, and work through things. That's my opinion. I know that's staff's recommendation too. So I would support that. Of course, we want to hear the report. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, no. Yeah, I was just here for questions or clarification. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's a short list of issues that we'd like to see, that we want to have more discussion on. Those are the ones I was reading off to you that are listed in your report.
Right.
But beyond that, these would be items that we would also talk to P3 about.
Right.
And that would be our strong recommendation, is to have P3 and Associates step in and review this, in addition to the others that they're already reviewing.
that would be a recommendation from staff, and I would also recommend that to city council if council would so choose to do so.
While y'all have it in front of you, do y'all have any questions about it?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
The 25%, the city keeps 25% of the tax revenue.
That's correct.
So 75% goes
back to the developer for reimbursement. But you have to also realize that right now, they don't have to give us any percentage because they would be annexing into the city. So this is an additional income that the city would be getting. That's something we actually talked about a lot at planning and zoning, was that right now it's 25%. And yes, we were like, we could negotiate that amount, but they do that based off of calculations on what they're forecasted to spend and how long it would take them to be reimbursed. And 25% is not that.
So this is similar to the agreement that went with Alsatian Oaks.
Yes.
But since Alsatian Oaks, this is the only time this has come into play with the other development agreements.
For the commercial aspect, for Flat Creek, there's no commercial. So the only reimbursement they get for that one is impact fees.
And which one?
For Flat Creek.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no commercial aspect to that one. So this is strictly tax revenue based off whatever commercial businesses would be going there. That is also applies to Alsatian Oaks because they have a commercial portion up front, but Flat Creek did not. So, and then at Heights of Castroville, I'm sure structured the same way, but I don't know for sure off the top of my head.
That was before.
Yeah.
And in this 25%, that's property and sales tax?
That sales tax, there's no residential component to the proposed development agreement as of right now. So it's all commercial at this point.
So it would include property and sales.
Yes.
Both property and sales tax.
Is it simply I'm sorry.
Sorry. Yeah.
Is it simply the reimbursement for the, and I read this and maybe I read it wrong, for the road and the thoroughfare? Have we talked about anything about utilities to the property? And
yes,
how that would work?
That number that they gave to us, the $6 million, That includes the utilities and the road, the thoroughfare, and all TxDOT improvements. I think the total was like 9.3 million or something,
Okay.
but they're only asking for reimbursement on 6.
So again, very similar to the Alsatian Oaks agreement.
I believe so.
Okay. Has anybody looked at what the cost of providing utility services of that property would be?
Yes, they've done except that's how they come up with
the
these.
city.
Oh, the
looked at
city.
it.
Oh no, I haven't personally.
Okay.
Maybe Respect probably have looked into it a little bit to go out to that property.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just curious.
But I also agree with your recommendation.
To engage P3 on this.
Yeah.
Mr. Merce, did you have a question?
Yes. Does this development, as outlined here, does this abut the Flat Creek development?
No.
This is east of the car dealership.
That's correct. On the other side of that car dealership property.
And so,
Grain silos are.
yeah. Well, yeah, but the Flat Creek development isn't there yet, so it's hard to see what is next to it or not.
Okay. Yeah.
The 120-foot right-of-way running east-west in this, is that part of the proposed northern route?
It is.
I don't feel like I am remotely ready to take action on this, so I'm glad that your recommendation was to not take action on this.
Councilman Lee, did you have a question?
You betcha. You betcha. I'm trying to understand what we would get back for the reimbursement for the on-site utilities with them. And I also had the question, what is it costing us? Because I see the word 380 agreement in here. What's it costing us to bring services to the edge of the development? Because that is our only responsibility. And I know, I think I know that there's been some discussion up here not to enter into any more agreements that look like Alsatian Oaks. In fact, I've heard it from some of the council members. We'll never do that again. And so I see us, basically funding $6 million of the development's infrastructure. And I have to have a better understanding of exactly what do we get out of that. And if you're telling me they come into the city limits if we do that, would they if we did not? And if we're going to get sales tax revenue, I assume it needs to be within the city limits. Of course, we only get 2/3 of that. And go ahead, sir. There's a lot of questions I have that are not in this presentation.
I think a lot of and I agree with you, but I think a lot of that could be addressed through P3, serving the city's interest in negotiating this. And everything comes back to the city. Everything does, but they would be our voice at the table.
So it may be a great deal, or it may not be. And I just, from what's presented here, I don't have a good understanding of exactly what that $6 million gets us, other than if it's in the city limits, you get sales tax revenue, which could be significant. And if we didn't agree to this, would they still want to go into the city and get the police protection and those kinds of things? I don't know the answer to that. Okay. And so somewhere or another, we have to kind of say, is it worth it to us to take on that obligation? Because we still have to general fund responsibilities to that development. I didn't see anything in this thing about water as far as giving us water rights. I didn't see anything about parkland because, as I understand, any development has to have a parkland dedication or money. I didn't see that anywhere in this agreement. And so I just have question after question. We don't know if that northern route is ever going to go in there or not. And yet we're asking essentially to pay to have that set aside for something that may not happen. And so to me, this is not ready.
Okay. Thank you, Councilman Lee. Councilman Marchman?
I'm good.
Councilwoman Martinez?
I agree with everything everybody else is saying.
I'll entertain a motion.
Wait.
Oh, yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Remember, sales tax in that area, we don't get it. It completely goes to the ESD.
Incorrect.
Except we did make an agreement
Through an agreement.
that with the Walmart property that we would split.
No, it's any of it. Anything that comes in out there, we get that amount.
They agreed to all of
I
it.
think there's a limit.
Are you saying
It's
if they
2/3.
annex?
No, if they
No.
annex.
Well, yeah,
No, if we annex,
they have to be in the city.
it's a new, we have it, but it's not automatic. We have to negotiate with them. If the agreement, and go back and read it because I was there when we came up with it, it was only the existing properties coming in, any future properties would have to be discussed at that time. That's my recollection.
We need to find that out because we may not be able to give up sales tax that we can't collect.
That's fair.
So that's a good question.
Because there was 1.5% that they got, and even though it comes into the city, they still get it.
Okay.
Except we did make a deal with Alsatian Oaks and Walmart and all that development that we would get 2/3 and they would get 1/3. But any new annexed property out there would have to be renegotiated at that time. That's my recollection of the agreement.
That's definitely something that has to be looked at.
I'll pull it.
Yeah.
I know in the past when they were already annexed in, we got full amounts. It was after that we got the percentage.
Okay.
Right.
But I'll double check.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. If there's any further, sir. Yes, sir.
I had a question before
Yes,
you
sir.
asked for a motion.
Yes.
I heard you start.
Okay. Yes,
I
sir.
guess
Yes, sir.
out of respect for the developer and their professionals who are here,
Yes, sir.
I guess what is from us up here, what does the plan look like for how to get to the point where we're ready to make a decision on this? And I know you said have our lawyers start negotiating, but some of the things Mr. Lee was saying, I don't think the lawyers would be in the right position to calculate. Right?
You're at P3 and associates. We've talked to them before about what our goals and objectives are. This is what the cities. I mean, you guys get to set them up too, but this is following what we have and what's out there. It's kind of like, okay, here. I'm just going to throw my 2 cents worth in. Here's what we have. Here's where they want, and we come somewhere in between to work something out. And it'll all come before City Council. Before anything, City Council has a final say on a yay nay. But it's trying to make a win-win for everybody. But working through that with that third party representative. You know, in the past,
I guess I just
Sure.
feel like if you asked me, because you said, here's where we are, here's where they are, let's get to something. Like, I feel like I couldn't say definitively where we are right now. I heard a lot of questions and uncertainty as we were going down the line in a way that I don't feel like our ask is necessarily well defined. And so I'm asking.
I could define it. In my opinion, is our ordinances, our development plans are our start. Their start is over here. So use our subdivision ordinance. Use our ordinances that we have right now in place. That's in an ideal world. That's what we want. And then they want this over here. And somehow it comes together to work things out. It comes back to council.
That's why we have engaged P3, and it would be a good, very, very good thing to engage. That's what they specialize in. That's all they do. So they will be able to tell us where we are, where we need to be.
One more time.
Yes, sir.
And David, to respond to your question, I personally have no problem. I was not around when the Alsatian Oaks agreement, the money sharing agreement. After I learned about that, after I came about, I have no problem with that type of agreement. If it's to advantage of the city, and right now the city is getting zero revenue, and then after they were to come in, we're getting 25%, and we would get zero. And so I understand that give and take, so I'm not totally against. I'm not even against the Alsatian Oaks agreement. I think that's to be negotiated. That's just my personal view.
Everything's on the table.
What are the possibilities of reaching some kind of a tentative agreement with ESD? Because to me, that's a biggie. If ESD is not willing to share a similar percentage, I really see very little advantage in this. And also in here, how about we send all of our questions to you for P3 to look at? But when we start talking to developers about upgrading their structures and so forth, to me, that's kind of a dead end. I think they're going to build what they want to build in order to appeal to the group they want to appeal to and make it attractive to the investors. And even though we put that in there to do an upgrade, to me, that's a non-starter, because I think they're interested in doing what's they think is the very best to make that thing successful. But I would like to know what the ESD has to say after you guys review that, as far as what the agreement is for anything beyond the Alsatian Oaks area.
That's not on here tonight.
Well, it's,
The agreement's not on here.
I understand that. I understand that, but we don't know if we would get what percentage of the sales tax revenue if it was in the city limits.
Okay,
That's a biggie to me.
thank you.
So could I just,
Yes, sir.
I want to say, I want to ask a question and say one thing. So
Yes,
could I, once I've had a little more time to review what was presented tonight, could I send my questions or concerns to be included with what goes to P3?
Absolutely.
And then
Absolutely.
second thing is just noting that right now we get zero
Yes, sir.
income from that land, but we also have zero expenses related to that land.
That is correct.
And I have argued with Mr. Lee during the budget you're on my side on this one. During the budget process that we do not bring in enough money at 100% of sales tax to cover the maintenance of the infrastructure we have in Castroville right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I would be particularly concerned about only getting 25%. Especially because the kinds of decisions about what gets built that make a developer money over the next 20 years is not always the same thing that makes the city the most financially stable over the next 100 years.
I understand.
And so I'm anytime we're getting less than full revenue, I'm skeptical to begin with, particularly given that this says large commercial over a substantial chunk of it.
Okay, thank you. We have a recommendation from the staff to forward this to P3 and Associates to work to negotiate a development agreement to bring back to City Council for consideration. Can I entertain a motion for that?
One thing.
Yes, sir.
Would it be fair, and Scott, I would ask you, with P3, what's the term? How long? Because they've come to 2 meetings now, to be fair. When could we expect, as kind of what David was saying, to get an answer from that?
It's always back and forth. There's always back and forth negotiations. So putting a timeline on it's a little difficult. Dan, you tell us a little bit more.
As soon as the City Council takes action one thing or another, it's turned over to them and we just kind of push the ball. Yeah.
P3? Yeah, I know. I just know that there's back and forth between P3 and Killen on the terms that will be discussed. And I'm reticent to put a time on it. I can only say that we'll move as quickly as we can and try to get them the considerations. Now, the document that we're referring to is public. It's in our packet. It has, I mean, to that extent, we're being very transparent about what the concerns are.
Right.
We've already laid them out. And then we'll see if, once P3 looks at this, if they have additional concerns that align with some of the things that we've heard tonight from council about researching whether or not we have sales tax control over that through our prior agreement with ESD. And there's some things we probably do need to look at and confirm.
I'd like to make a motion.
Yes, sir.
Are you still in discussion before voting?
We haven't had a motion, so I'd
Okay.
really like to get a motion.
Okay.
And a second, then if there's any additional
My question is
discussion.
short, is we rescinded the existing development agreement policy, correct?
The previous one, yes.
This one was initiated under the previous policy, which we no longer have. And my curiosity is there any difference between what the outcome would be under the one that this one has been worked under versus what we have, where we are now having no city approved development policy?
This was
Development
not,
agreement.
this
No.
wasn't worked under the previous development agreement
No.
policy because that was just approved in early 2025, and this was brought to city council multiple years ago.
Well, that's what I
Y'all saw it
said.
a long time ago. So there's no,
There's
Holy
no previous policies or guidance on this. It's just, it's out
No,
there.
There was a development agreement policy the city had. It was passed out to us. It looked like a miniature UDO, remember?
But it came after this initially came
that's
to
correct.
the
This
city.
agreement was
This
is in line
came to
with
the city
prior to what-
and then it sat dormant and now it's back to the
So
city.
what are you using to negotiate with if we didn't have a policy before?
we are not using anything to negotiate. They brought their
No,
considerations to the
that's not
table.
entirely true. So what this was originally negotiated on was confidential discussions with the prior council.
Yes.
Where they gave staff direction
Right.
on what terms they wanted to see.
Okay.
And that's how those development agreements got developed.
Good, thank you.
Motion, sir.
I guess my motion was going to say that we don't take any action at this time related to this development agreement, because that's what staff recommends.
Other than to direct staff to.
And then tied into that is to direct staff to forward this to P3 and Associates to engage them on this issue.
I'll second.
Okay, motion made and second to take no action on this development agreement with Victory Lane Development at this time, and to forward the information to P3 and Associates to negotiate a development agreement on behalf of the city and bring it back to city council. Is that saying it correctly?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Okay. Next item, item C, consider possible action on a resolution authorizing the initiation of eminent domain proceedings to acquire right-of-way for Northern Route thoroughfare connection. Mr. Dixon.
I was reading through that agreement as y'all talking, looking for that park.
In order to move forward with eminent domain, the city council must pass a resolution authorizing that action. And this is basically the resolution to authorize us to move forward with eminent domain. If there's any questions, or if not, we'll entertain a motion to adopt the resolution.
I'd like to entertain a motion to adopt the resolution.
Is there a second on that?
I'll second.
There's a motion made and second to adopt the resolution for the city of Castroville to proceed with eminent domain for the properties in the Alsatian Oaks,
Correct.
for the thoroughfare plan. That's correct. Is there any further discussion?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, as I recall from our prior discussions, we have, again, no guarantee that this will ever come to pass, because somebody else gets to work the rest of the property that's to the west of Alsatian Oaks. Right now, there's two separate roadway paths depicted in the information in here, where it looks like one's 60 feet, and another one's 60 feet, but they're not abutting one another. And so this is, the other part of this is, how much is it going to cost us to proceed with eminent domain?
Once you proceed, my understanding, I'm going to be very broad stroke because I don't know. Once you go to eminent domain, there's an offer based on
Fair market value.
fair market value. And if it's not accepted, then it goes to an appointed committee in the county, which actually you have to, and they have the final say on what the valuation is. And what they determine, each party, be the city, be the other party, gets to plead their case before this committee, and the committee comes up with a evaluation, and that's what it is. Done.
So you'll pay that amount plus whatever legal fees.
That's correct.
Correct.
And that's it. So
Well, Mayor,
the whole idea behind going to eminent domain, and of course it's in my world, it's a measure of last resort, but you want to make good, you will make very confident on your numbers that it's a fair market value offer.
There's
So-
still an opportunity, just to be clear with the council, that
Right.
this could get resolved. If we can, and that would be our preference, that we don't go through that whole process, even though y'all are authorizing it tonight, that we can come to a fair market value for the land.
The city, because we are a governmental entity, basically eminent domain is a tool in our toolbox to use for when it serves a public purpose, basically. And the road right of way serves a public purpose. So we have the power to use eminent domain if we so choose. And this resolution authorizes us to move forward based on previous city council action. Correct?
Correct.
okay, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Part of my question was, what's the legal cost of us pursuing eminent domain? Do we have a ballpark idea at all?
Really hard to
I
say.
gave that to you before.
Well, how
It was-
about giving it back to me?
It was the authorized offer amount.
Well, I saw that.
What's that?
I saw that offer amount, but that doesn't necessarily mean the legal cost to go through eminent domain, does it?
the legal costs will may weigh heavily on how much the challenge is and what the fight is in order to get to that point.
I remember you all throwing an estimate out to us though, and I remember we saying we thought that was reasonable.
And that was?
Well, I don't remember.
Well, if you're going to tell me I'm going to spend $300,000 or $400,000 on legal
wasn't
challenges,
that.
well, that's why I'm asking. Well, I'm sorry that I'm on the council and I have to ask questions that I'd like the answers to, but
Well, we
that's
gave it
one
to
of
you
them.
before it was issued, and it was done in executive session. That's why.
But this
Kinda
is just
leery
a
about
question on
citizens.
legal cost, not a settlement with these people or anything.
Right.
Just legal cost.
My recollection of legal costs was between $30,000 and $80,000
I
in that range.
thought it was closer to the 30,000.
Right.
Right.
Giving you a broad range for
Yeah.
a reason, and I think
Okay,
that's
that's
also
fine.
from my own experience.
That's fine. And how many lanes would you get with the 120-foot right of way?
It really depends on the ultimate design, but that should be 2 lanes in each direction with the median, a center turn, plus a bar ditch on one end and some other things. So it really depends on the ultimate design.
Versus
which
2
is-
lanes versus 1 lane in each direction.
Right.
It looks like you're going to really create a heavy traffic flow through the middle of Alsatian Oaks. But
Well, the intent is for it to be, I mean, the
It's a
original
thoroughfare
northern
plan.
route
I understand the
was
purpose.
for a reliever from 471 to 90. So yeah, that is going to be, but that's not something that would happen imminently, right? I mean, the concept is to build out 2 lanes first, acquire the right of way, and then when and if the county is ready, county and or city in the future is ready to build out the thoroughfare, then it would be done at that time. And that would be done at a time when you could actually connect it to 471, which is not the case today because there's land that's in the county that's
All right.
to the
Thank you.
west.
And this is already a road, correct me if I'm wrong, this is a road that does not have businesses or houses fronting onto it. This is already a road that they're planning to primarily carry traffic.
Correct.
We're just buying extra space to make it wider.
They are having
If
to
necessary.
adjust their plan, their layout plan because of this acquisition. But yes, that's correct.
Ms. Martinez, you have any comments?
Nope.
Mr. Marchman?
Nope.
Mr. King?
Nope.
Okay, we have,
I do have, sorry.
yes, sir.
I just wanted to emphasize, because this is something I get asked about frequently, a lot of traffic that's going from 471, coming south on 471 and then going east on 90, currently flows through my neighborhood when the lights start backing up. And I frequently get asked what the city is doing about that. The northern route, which we do not, you're correct, we do not have the power to finish on our own right now. But laying out this road, getting the right of way for this is necessary if we are ever going to have an alternative route to the 47190 intersection that doesn't go through Country Village. If we ever want to connect those two 471 to 90 without cutting through my neighborhood, this is a critical step. And so,
Okay. Thank
yes,
you.
I am.
Okay, so we have a motion. Anything else, sir? I'm sorry.
Nope, that's all.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adopt the resolution to proceed with eminent domain to acquire the additional roadway, right-of-way property for a right-of-way through the Alsatian Oaks subdivision. All in favor?
Aye.
The opposition? Hearing none, motion carries. Now, it's important that, I believe, am I not mistaken, everybody has to sign off, or you just do you have to have a roll call vote on this? Because I see everybody's name is here. We need a roll call vote on this, Because of this, we need an actual roll call vote. Councilwoman Martinez?
Aye.
Councilman Marchman?
Aye.
Councilman King?
Aye.
Councilman Mers?
Aye.
Councilman Lee? Thank you. And I'm also in favor, Mayor. I see my name's on there, so I just have to ask that. Thank you all very much. We move on to the next item. Item is consider and take action, appropriate action on appointing a city council member to act as liaison to the Chamber of Commerce. I will tell you that the Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors is very much aware of this and actually looking forward to this, to have a liaison that works with the chamber so we can kind of get back to our good relationship and working together on common things. I was invited to one of the Board of Director meetings yesterday, and Uh, the intent was the liaison would work with their office, their managers, or I don't know what they call them, but their ED, executive director. I apologize. Work with them as representative of the city, and then communications back and forth. The recommendation that I would make Houston Marchman, Councilman Marchman, the liaison. And if anyone would like to make a motion on that, I'd appreciate it.
So moved.
Motion made, second. Motion made and seconded to appoint Councilman Marchman as the City of Castroville's liaison to the Chamber of Commerce. Any discussion?
You have a question here on about the third paragraph. Talks about potential for contracted services. Is this going to be something that we look at in another 2, 3, 4 months to see how things pan out? Because they already, according to the national thing, they already have a responsibility for tourism and economic development as part of the National Chamber of Commerce rules. And so I'm wondering about paying somebody to do something that already falls upon their job description, if you will.
One of the things,
but we're not at that point. We're just looking for liaison right now.
We're not at that point. Is one thing that I did discuss with Scott and discuss with the chamber is the use of, used to be 30 years ago, 40 years ago, the city worked with the chamber in helping fund with some of the hot tax, but yet it was very sternly told that it has to be full accountability and its heads in beds, and we talk about different things. So there's opportunities, in my opinion, for the city to help fund some chamber activities and be part of how those things are done. So that's a future discussion item. But right now we're putting in place a direct link of contact. That's what the goal is right now. Okay, any further discussion? We have a motion and a second to appoint Councilman Marchman as a liaison to the Chamber of Commerce. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none, motion carries. Okay. Next item, item E, consider and take action on a request for a traffic study to be completed by the police department for the downtown historic commercial district, including but not limited to Fiorella, Paris, Lafayette, and London streets. I'm going to let Councilman Marchman on that one because I think you're the one that asked for that.
Yes, I did. Similar to what David did over there in his neighborhood, the same issues except compounded, because people cut through, and I can't say that, it's not compounded, I'm sure it's similar, but the cut through traffic in the mornings, you guys have all seen this, from Round to J, round to the cafe, it's insane. And I'm no traffic expert, but we need to do something. Something's going to get hurt. In the afternoons, when the dance group is in and out, that's really dangerous. And people are doing 40, 50 miles an hour, as you all know. I've seen it when we had coffee. And that's basically it, to see what we can do within the to slow folks down as they get.
Well, you're generally covering the downtown
Yes.
historic commercial district that we have a lot of foot traffic from time to time, and Fiorella Friday and other things like that. You're looking at all of that, right?
Right, and I'd make a motion to authorize police department to conduct a formal traffic and speedy study of the downtown historic commercial district as discussed.
Second.
Motion made and second to request a traffic study be completed by the police department for the downtown historic commercial district. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Next item is consider and take appropriate action to adopt a resolution to update the City of Castroville personnel policies and procedures. There's following discussions. There's not going to be any approvals, but yet there's some recommended some comments to be made to the city administrator and trying to direct on how things should move forward on this.
Yeah. So there is one action item that I'd kind of like to get, which is we want to bring this back to you for adoption. But we want to do it. One of the things that we learned tonight was that the prior policy was adopted by ordinance. So you have two options that I'd kind of like clarity on. And the first option would be to have a repealing ordinance and then a new ordinance. So adopt this policy by ordinance. The other option would be to have a repealing ordinance and a adoption by resolution, which is what was proposed tonight. But to simply adopt it by resolution tonight without repealing the ordinance would be improper, as was pointed out. So that's the only direction really I need at this stage. We did talk about one of the things that has been brought up in the past is job descriptions. Staff will be working on that, and I'll probably bring something back to you all at a future council meeting on an agenda for action.
Okay, help me here, Counselor. What do we need? We need actually a motion to direct them to bring back a ordinance to repeal and a resolution to adopt.
Yes, sir. If that's how y'all choose to do it, we can actually bring an ordinance back to repeal the ordinance. And then you can adopt it, the next line agenda item, you can adopt what we have here.
Obviously, I like the ordinance because I've had it for 30 years. That's a council decision.
I'd like to make a motion.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to make a motion to direct city staff to talk with the city attorney to come up with a repeal ordinance, and to at the same time work with city staff to develop to
prepare a resolution for approval
for
adopt.
Which essentially is what you have tonight. You already have.
Yes.
I got you.
We'll bring
I
that
got
back. We just need
If you got me, that's it. That's my motion.
Motion made and second. Motion made and second to
Who seconded?
direct. Mr. Marchman. Motion made and second to direct staff to work with the attorney to bring back an ordinance to repeal the ordinance on the personnel policies, and then to bring back a resolution to consider to adopt the personnel policies. Okay. Resolution. That's right. Appeal and adopt. Motion made second. Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Okay. Next item is consider to take action on setting a date for a joint special meeting and work session with the Historic Landmark Commission to review the Historic Landmark Commission ordinance and historic preservation. You know, Scott, you want to take this? Because I really am excited for the opportunity for council to work with HLC on this and P&Z on the others, because we just need to review everything and look at it and make any modifications.
Well, the real issue is just dates, and I don't know if there's been conversation with HLC about what dates y'all can do this.
They have a meeting tomorrow.
Yeah, so if you all can tell us what dates you'd like to try and target, obviously I would expect it to be in the new year, not trying to do something in December.
Well, you know, the beautiful part about that, in about 2 weeks, I'll have all the time
I know. That's
So-
wonderful.
So
Can't wait.
I just don't want to do everything during the day because that would compromise Mr. Murr's career. So I don't want to do that to him.
We do have 3 meetings. I'm just clarifying. Yeah, we have 3 things on the agenda. We've got this item. We've got a joint meeting with planning and zoning. We actually have 4. Joint meeting with planning and zoning. We need to call the CIP meeting.
Yes.
And then we're going to plan a work session, kind of a retreat with council, following like February 14th.
Yes, actually, if I can, and all 4 of the next 4 items is a joint meeting with HLC, a joint meeting with P&Z, the planning workshop, the CIP, and then our planning one, kind of like our little retreat for so we can get all together. They're all 4. We need to set dates.
Right. So HLC normally meets on which day of the month? So what you may want to consider is targeting the 3rd Tuesday of January.
Or February.
I seen it.
So I think it would just run too long.
No, I'm talking about the 3rd one. We can't do it for tomorrow. I'm saying for the 3rd
January.
of January.
I'm just saying that
January stuff.
agendas keep getting longer and longer, so I don't know if that would be one of us who wanted to do it.
As a suggestion, don't you think we ought to have our workshops first so that we can kind of have a understanding of how council's thinking, and then we enter into these joint workshops with the other 3 joint
We can do that too, because it's just, but I want to keep them all engaged. They're our advisors.
Right.
I really want to keep
Oh,
them
no, I
engaged.
totally-
Kind of
I
like,
think
I mean, I'll be honest though, we did try to do something with you all with the development agreement policy that P&Z had already looked at.
Right.
They brought it to you. You guys said, oh, you had some initial thoughts. And you're like, you know what? We just want to meet with them and talk about it. So I don't know how beneficial it would be to try and have a work session on your own. Because when we tried that with the development agreement policy,
No, I wouldn't
you
talk
immediately
about
said,
He
let's
meant
do
the,
it P&Z.
I think he meant
talking
our
about
like
the-
strategic planning and CIP.
The council planning workshop
Oh,
with our facilitator.
yeah, I'll be honest. The mayor and I haven't really set the agenda for that. But Mayor, just based on the prior conversations you and I had, it didn't sound like that was going to be the focus. Like, it didn't sound like we were going to talk a whole lot about, like, for instance, the HLC.
No, I don't want to talk about that.
You're talking about our which one?
the strategic.
The strategic one is kind of a different thing. That's with city council and with the facilitator. So we can all sit down here and make what we believe, what's our vision, what's our goals, what's our objectives overall. When we're talking with the HLC, it's working through the ordinances that the HLC uses. With the P&Z, it's talking through the ordinances that they use for those things. That's what those joint meetings are. So there's a different level of meetings.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
But I see what you're saying. I think what Phil was saying was, should we have that meeting first before you try to meet with the HLC? Because then at least that gives you a perspective, a lens to look through. If you've established your joint vision and mission for where you want the city to go and what you think is important and what the priorities are, then when you approach the HLC, you can know as a group how that aligns with this established vision. Is that what you were saying, Phil?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm open. That's what I looked for you for here on this one, because
It really depends on how we set that agenda, what all we talked about on that day.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Well, I have a lot of issues with the existing guidelines to do with historic properties.
Yes.
But we put those in the comprehensive zoning ordinance.
Yes.
Okay. And so those are the kind of things I want to discuss, but this meeting is with HLC. We're going to discuss what's in the comprehensive zoning ordinance with HLC without P&Z involved.
Yes.
Yes. What it is
'Cause it is a carve-
what I've envisioned, what my opinion is HLC, the meeting with HLC is tailored only to the issues that the HLC has authority over. It has not, and yes, part of those are in the comprehensive ZZO, but they're specific to a chapter for HLC.
Okay.
Well, that's all I'm looking for. No, go ahead.
Okay, Mayor, I'm not finished.
Yes, sir. I'm raising my chair. I can't see.
I guess I would like clarity on exactly what the purpose is. And I can just tell you, the last time we've had joint meetings in here with the UDO, it was a goat rope. It was a disaster. I would prefer that we, maybe as a part of our next council meeting, we can kind of get a handle on what it is we want to talk about with HLC, because I am not clear now, because the things I care about have to do with, all the properties now in the new historic area, which is HLC's responsibility to help enforce, yet they're in the zoning ordinance. And so I have no clarity of exactly how we're going to approach this and what it is we're trying to get out of it.
I think if I understand that, but I'm gonna spin off and talk about HLC's agenda tomorrow night. HLC's agenda, there's an item on there to talk about design guidelines. There's an item on there to talk about contributing structures. So they're already going through this process. Am I?
Those are only to talk about how that process would look like if you all decided to move forward.
Okay, I apologize.
To start those.
I was hopeful.
Yeah, no, it's not to start that process, because it's to go through what would be needed, how that process would go, what funding, because it's not going to be cheap with the historic preservation officer. So it's not to start those discussions about the structure of that ordinance.
Well, those are the type of things that I was hopeful that the council could work with them as our advisory group to try to work through these for any changes or updates there might be. To take off on what Councilman Lee was saying, and I fully support this, the definition of contributing, non-contributing. Those are important issues because your agendas will continue to be lengthy until things like that are resolved. on what is and what isn't. We're back to setting dates. I don't want to get into conversations. Let's go back to setting dates.
So the question is, do you want to set it? I think what Phil was asking is, do you want to set it for after our strategic workshop meeting, which would mean we're looking at late February, maybe early March.
Yes,
Wow.
sir.
Man.
Is it?
I think in an ideal world, it would be nice for them to be in a particular order, but in the interest of getting along with the business of governing the city, I think that we should prioritize which dates we're available, and then HLC can pick from it, and it will fall in whatever order it does.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion.
I'm fine. Give them 3 dates and make it work.
Well, I guess that's what I was saying. As far as governing the city, I think we should first have our council planning workshop, which is strategic planning. That should be first. And then to me, the CPI should be second. And then it should be the other two, third and fourth.
I have no problem with that.
Well,
It's,
you're suggesting that the strategic workshop should be first,
The council planning workshop,
Yes.
not the CIP.
not CIP.
Yeah, the only challenge to that, Mayor, is just what you and I have talked about with your dates and your priorities. That what I would advise this council is, since there are 3 of you that are not running, it really makes sense. And talking to the mayor, he concurred that we really shouldn't do that strategic planning workshop without your new council identified. In other words, wait until after the filing deadline
Under the bus.
of February 14th. You would still be a part of the process because you're still on council, but that would give you an opportunity, Mayor, to invite the 3 new
Sure.
council members, assuming there are only 3. If you had 5 candidates running, we would invite all 5, right? Or however many there were.
I understand that.
But typically, it's only been 1 for each.
Well, is it then also fair with the CIP though, with the same argument that in 3 months?
It's a little different with CIPs in this regard, that there are very finite resources when it comes to the CIP and what can be done immediately. But you could make the same argument, sure. So the point is, if we use that as kind of the justification for when, then we, as kind of stated when we get to that item in the executive summary that you all received, I proposed 2 different dates, but it was after February 13th. So it was the week of, I think, I can't remember. It's what's in my thing, but I have my calendar up right now, which is why I'm not looking at it. But I think it was the week of that February 13th date, or the following week, the week of the 20th.
And which meeting was this?
This would be for your strategic planning.
So,
and then if we follow your guidance, Phil, then all the other meetings would happen after that. And to David's point, I don't know if y'all want to wait that long on some of this stuff.
yeah, I understand.
February 14th.
I don't have a problem with 2 meetings in a week.
Sure.
Depending on
Council
when
meeting,
it retires.
I still wouldn't have a problem.
Yeah, I wouldn't have, I
You'll
don't
be
have a
retired.
problem either.
I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem either. Okay, February 14th is Saturday.
Yeah, so it'd
That's
be the
February
following.
14th, by the
It'd be
way.
the following week. The 16th we're off. As we
President's
just
Day.
Yeah,
informed.
Ash Wednesday on 18th.
I say we do it on President's Day.
I'm fine with that.
You're me.
Mayor, what does the P and Z workshop have to do with anything else that we're discussing having a meeting about? It's strictly development agreement.
Yeah,
It has no relationship to any of the rest of this.
I'd be up for having the P&Z and or HLC workshops in the back half of January.
I agree.
I will not be here the last week of January.
The P and Z's already said February.
All the members of P&Z to do the workshop, they were requesting, I think it was February 11th, was that Wednesday.
That was P and Z.
Deal.
That was P&Z.
Yeah, P and Z was just February
If
11th.
that was too late, then I think that their second date would have been February 4th, but I think there was one person that couldn't make February 4th. But the month of January was
February 11th being the second.
The first pick would have been February 11th, the second pick would have been.
And to your knowledge, P&Z's good with that?
Yes, that's what they said.
Oh my goodness, I would entertain a motion to have a joint workshop.
We're not on that subject yet.
Oh, we're not on that item. Okay, we're not.
You can go and open that one.
I'm sorry, we're still on HLC.
You could just read in all 4 of them.
Well, let me read them all because we're going to talk
Drive
tomorrow.
her crazy.
Okay,
Sorry, Deborah.
Let's move on.
we have the joint meeting with HLC, and then the next one is consider take action on joint work session with the P&Z. And then the next one would be appropriate action, set a date for a council workshop to discuss the 26 to 36, 10-year community investment plan. And the other one would discuss an appropriate action to set a date for a council planning workshop. And the reason I'm calling all four of those right now is because we're talking all of these dates at the same time. And once we make one up, we need to lock it down. So all four of those items are generally going to be discussed right now.
P and Z, the date. The
Looking
fourth-
for a motion for P and Z for
the
February
fourth won't
11th.
work.
I motion P and Z
Okay.
for February 11th.
And when, what time?
What
of day?
time?
Evening.
Yeah, I think they said maybe move to 5, so that it goes too late, but I think they said 5 was gonna work.
5 is going to work?
I'm okay with 5.
5. Are you okay with that, David?
Yes, I'm likely going to be on leave at that time.
No leave time.
So I will
Okay.
be able to attend
course.
various
What if
times.
you're in the hospital at that time?
Oh, if we're in the hospital on February 14th,
11.
11 due dates like January 14th.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to have the joint P and Z meeting at February 11th, beginning at 5 p.m. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. That's one. What about, we got that one. That's great. Let's move on to,
Well, that was 14I. So now if you want to go back to 14A.
who made the most second?
You made the.
I motioned.
I think I
And
said.
Phil King seconded it. Yes, sir. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Now, we still have the HLC.
We all
Help.
have to give them 3 or 4 different, they don't know yet. And so she said you.
Okay, we're
Hurry up, know it.
well, let's give them a couple dates. When's their next meeting?
Tomorrow.
I mean, after that. They meet on the third Wednesday? Third Tuesday?
17th.
Third
Of February.
Tuesday.
No, it'll be
February.
the 20th of January. Right?
20th of January.
Yeah.
Next meeting.
February.
20th of January.
Could we just throw a date out to them and see if
Yes,
it's possible?
that's what we're gonna do.
How about the February 4th?
Huh? How about February 4th?
I
You
second.
can't do it.
Yeah, February. So that first week in February, I'm on a cruise.
Again?
So
I will not be able to.
Okay,
Leaving to
Take
Denver.
the flyer.
I have a question for the attorney.
yes.
Does setting a special called meeting have to be a council action, or could we authorize the mayor to set it once HLC has
Oh, the
provided a few
the
days?
mayor can set them.
Yeah,
It's in board ordinance.
yeah. The mayor can call a meeting. So, but I think the whole point of this was just to understand what your availability is. If you
Okay.
tell us, hey, we're available Monday through Friday after 5, then the mayor has what he needs to be able to call.
Just tell me to just, I feel better. Make a motion to authorize the mayor to just set these special meetings and notify council.
I'd
We
like
just
to
need
make
to-
a motion as suggested.
Okay, so
Uh,
As suggested.
So
Motion
for each
made.
of those items.
that we've already done one. So
We've done one, but the other three is the motion and second is to authorize the mayor to set special meetings to notify council.
Okay, and that was King first and Marchman second.
That's correct. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you. Motion
So-
carried.
And I guess
So we're all aye.
I will,
we can send you our availability.
yeah, it's that, or I'll send y'all, like I did before, I'll send you
Those
some dates.
dates that are not going to work, I think, is what really the.
That's all I'm looking for, is the dates up. All right, let's move on here to item 10. Whoop, no, I'm not 10. Let's 15. City Administrator Report. Sir.
Yes. Let me pull it up real quick.
Yeah, okay, we're almost gonna make 8, maybe.
We're gonna make 8.
Don't make me
I
dizzy.
think we'll be fine.
I'll just say that.
Yeah, we're gonna make.
City Administrator Report, please, sir.
Yeah, there are a couple of things I just want to call attention to, and then of course I'll open it up for questions. We are still waiting on whether we know there are some conflicts with TxDOT. That information really hasn't changed. Respec did the evaluation of the potential areas of conflict and submitted what they needed to TxDOT. They are still not through with their 30% design, which is I won't comment on it, but so we're still waiting. But
So there's a constructing while they're designing?
No, they're
No.
destructing while they're designing.
no, because this isn't really the portions you see going on. That's all.
Oh, you're talking the
in-house
west
knows.
part.
I'm really talking about this stuff that's closer to the bridge. And
Okay.
and
Okay, I'm sorry. It's,
Castroville, the BML trail access, you already had a comment on from Councilman Marchman. There's not really anything additive there. Street improvements plan, we did have a conversation. I'll just say to Commissioner Sitter's, to his, out of respect for him and what he's doing, he is pushing hard to try and help the city, and he is working with the attorney at the county to put together a plan.
Okay.
I provided him some information, and it's evident to me that that is trickling down to his staff because they met with my staff, and so they're working on putting together a plan. So hopefully that will, God help us. Hopefully we see something come from that very soon. The CPSC dispute. This is one of the areas I wanted to call attention to. Clark Hill, that represents us in that matter, has a standing order to intervene on our behalf if they see something at the PUC that is concerning. And they kind of did just that. That's explained in my comments, but it's not as serious as it sounds, frankly, but they're intervening on our behalf. It's basically, they're just adding comments to what has been filed with the PUC on behalf of CPSC related to where is it at? The WTS DV tariff. So this is preliminary. It doesn't have any strong implications as far as like legal issues or anything of that along those lines. It's just really more of a perfunctory matter when it comes to PUC filings. But I'll keep you updated on how that progresses. You already heard about the Community Center Original Park. We're very glad that is restarted. You heard a little bit about
I saw two different dates in here about potential or possible completion of that.
The date that I have in here is February 23rd to 26th. I don't know if I entirely believe that because that's only like a month later than the original date that we were given. So I fully anticipate with rain delays, et cetera, it could be further out. But that is the last date that I have, last official date. February 23rd of 26.
So we could have our offsite meeting there.
Yeah, I have. In all seriousness, I've thought about how soon. There's several activities I'd like to hold there.
You're talking about the community center?
Yeah. Yep. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if
That'd be great.
But that's the date I have from the contractor. So
2 months.
I'll get an update.
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen.
Excuse me.
When are they gonna start back up? By the way, when are they gonna start back up?
They've already started.
I walked there today. There's nobody working.
Yeah, they cleaned up the site. They believe they're mobilizing this week.
Okay, well, if you said they started working, I didn't see any trucks or any activity at all today.
Yes, sir.
I don't have any future.
Okay. Right. Yes, sir.
We mentioned the facilitated council workshop. The mayor and I will be working on what that agenda looks like and kind of what needs to be discussed. I'll be honest, part of this is going to be dictated by the budget that we established and how much time that facilitator can give us, and then what we want to try to tackle that may or may not be out with a facilitator, because I think that could be something you and I can talk about too if you want to have other discussion that's not facilitated. So we'll talk about that. And then there was an item here about airport soft start pump. This will be an item that could appear on a future agenda.
It is.
Okay. Depending on whether Councilman Lee wants to push the issue. My general comment about this is soft start pumps are great. They really do work. I'm not against them at all. The issue is whether it makes sense to buy one now when everything we have is working at the airport well specifically, and when there are other upgrades to the well that would be needed, and when you consider that entire site, we're trying to find a way to make not to where we wouldn't have to use it for potable water. And so to me, it would be a bad investment. It's not something I would recommend. It'd be something that you could recommend if the pump were to go out, absolutely. And the same would be true of any other pump in our system. If and when they were to go down, I absolutely think that looking at a soft start pump at that stage would make sense. And we do have them in a couple of places. So we are familiar with them. They are good. We just aren't using them everywhere. To replace a working pump at significant cost, the ROI that you get, it takes a decade to get your payback.
I understand. Well, I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
And just to think about too. And if I'm wrong with this, I stand corrected. My understanding is that the tenant farmer who by his lease, is responsible for the maintenance, upkeep, operation of that pump, has offered to pay that.
I hadn't heard that.
Okay, maybe I'm.
Yeah,
maybe I'm wrong.
if he'd pay it, that'd be great.
Okay,
I'll
I may have misunderstood that. I thought he did.
I'll take back all my comments. If someone else will pay the fee, that's great.
Because versus paying to fix it once it breaks.
So
I just thought I'd ask that.
We are through my report.
I may be wrong.
We were through my report, but there's one other item I just want to mention. It's not on our report, so it's not open for discussion, but I just wanted to update you all because this happened after. We did receive the resignation of our two new linemen. This was Justin, who was our superintendent, and his buddy Jacob, who he persuaded to bring on. They were our two journeymen. We were prepared to build the department around them. Tom Miller, who's been an excellent employee for a very long time and served the city diligently. We were trying to kind of move him more in an advisory capacity for a number of reasons. But thank God he's still on our staff and able to pick up slack because these two guys just literally no notice said we're out. They're going to go get higher paying jobs elsewhere, and I wish them all the best. But it is very frustrating because we did our due diligence. We called references. We had candid conversations about what their plans were and what we were trying to do, and we thought we understood what the goals were. And unfortunately, as soon as what they viewed as a better offer came along, they were gone. And anyway, I'm still appalled that there are people that act that way. Anyway,
I did want to make one more comment on the BMA trail access. I wanted to echo BMA's attorney. I talked to them, and they're very impressed with the city staff.
Good.
And they wanted to give the city an apology that they mistakenly left it off the agenda. And they look forward to the conversation at their next meeting.
Well, that was the goal. Is Jonah, I hope, really left them with a positive input.
He did.
He tried to be.
He did.
Gracious, etc.
I just want to echo that.
That's good.
Forward
Thank
that.
you. That's good feedback to hear. See, there's one other thing I was going to mention.
Yes, Councilman Lee.
Mr. Dixon had something he wanted to say.
I apologize.
No, if it comes to me, I'll mention it. I think there was one other item that wasn't listed I was going to mention.
Okay, you had on part of your administrative report 2 items. One had to do with this riparian planting in the park, which is in here. And
that's in the parks. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's in the
under
parks.
yours.
No, it's so
you're not
behind.
talking anything but what you wrote.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
behind
fine.
my report are all the staff reports.
All
that
right,
were
good.
screwed after.
You've got the Geneva Street Drainage Project on there.
I believe so. Yeah.
That's your second paragraph.
Yes, I believe so. Yes.
The drainage projects.
Yes, I'm going to put on the agenda the next time that we stop that project and explore putting in culvert pipe.
It's a terrible idea. Go ahead.
I'm sorry?
It's a terrible idea, but go ahead.
Well, I guess
Very
it depends
expensive
on
idea.
if
You don't have the
care
money.
about people's safety or not. So I passed the council. I'll put it on there.
Go on.
I
Go
passed
back
the
and
council
forth,
the
guys.
pictures. It's,
All right, sorry.
It's dangerous, and we need to have all the details presented to council as to what it would cost to do the job with culvert pipes, so there is no open, exposed slope for people to fall down, which there is now. And right now, they have part of that project ends down at the river. It also blocks some of the drainage off of Mr. Hancock's property, and that will completely wash away down there the first time you get, 2 feet over the top of the bank. Seen it too many times.
Okay.
And
Okay, is
so
that a
I'll
future
make that an
agenda
agenda.
That'll be
item.
a new agenda item.
I was gonna say, I think we need to move to the next one.
Is there any other comments or questions concerning the
I just have
report?
one question on the county streets plan. Any idea when that will come back? I mean, as far as like.
Man, I've been hoping it's going to come back for months because I'd really like to be able to tell you all, hey, we're making progress on that. I know that's something that the community is eager to see is an investment in our streets.
Okay.
That was probably the other thing I was going to mention. Unfortunately, I just don't have a timeline. I've been expecting it to come through.
I understand.
The judge and Larry, to their credit, have answered my calls. They've always responded. They know that this is very important to us, and they are working to support the city to get it on there. But and Larry is doing his part to get. He has to have the bones of what that agreement looks like, and then give it to the attorney, and she'll draft the ILA, and then it'll go to them for approval, and then it'll come to us. That's the goal.
Okay.
So he's working on developing that. I will follow up with Larry tomorrow. He's probably listening. He generally does listen to our council meetings, just so you know.
Any other questions? No, I just want to make one thing. It's not necessarily a report, but I want to introduce Mr. Tundry.
Yeah, good.
Mr.
Good
Jeff
on you.
Tunder is the new addition engineer working for Respect. I talked to him earlier today. I think he's going to be working with a lot of the stuff on the city projects that work through Respect. Am I correct, Mr. Tunder?
Correct, yes.
Mr. Tunder is actually Medina County guy.
Yeah, in Lacoste.
From Lacoste area.
So I met him today. I didn't know who he was with. He was with the developer or with Respect, but you didn't tell me you were just hired. I learned that from the mayor. So.
Today's my 5th day on the job.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Welcome.
I got the short stop trolley come over here.
Oh,
Come on.
Well, you live the closest.
That's right.
So, welcome. We look forward to working with y'all, Respect, and all our folks. Okay? I just wanted to do that introductions. Thank you, sir. Okay, let's move on to future agenda items, folks.
So we have the airport soft pump, and then we have Geneva Street drainage.
Okay?
Is that correct?
Yes. Okay, and then, of course, we have the ordinances, the personnel policies, things like that. Also, Deborah, I just want to make sure everybody understands you will be calling for the election at the next meeting, January 13th.
No.
The first day to file is January 14th.
Yes, and we can do it then, or we can't. They can still file it whether we call it that first one or the second.
Okay, I didn't know. I didn't know what the process is because
But we will.
the first day to file for the upcoming election will be January 14th.
Yes.
January 14th?
January
Yes.
14th is the first day to file.
And you have until February.
The positions
The
that will be
13th
open
finish.
or up for election is districts 3, 4, and 5.
And you have it's basically a month to file.
Right.
From January 14th to February 13th.
February 13th, and then there's the late filing, whatever. But I just wanted to get that out there for an agenda item and just as a comment to the public for future. Okay. Anybody have anything else? Please get them into. Let me know. Get them into Scott. We'll try to figure it out. Do the best we can to get you on the agenda. Anything else we need to talk about this evening? Oh, Mr. Lee gave us this. We wanted to. Bob, you want to go ahead and talk about this?
I did pass that to all of council. It's the gentleman celebrating his 101st birthday.
Awesome.
Obviously, he's going to be flying out here at the airport. Flight place. You all should know where that is. On the 30th at 12:30 is what I said.
Yes, sir, you did.
They have flown hundreds of people over 100 years old, and they allow them to sign the tail of the aircraft.
How neat.
If you haven't ever been up in that Stearman out there, it's really a trip. It's really something.
I have not. I went out there the day they were doing the flights, but I didn't want to take away from someone else.
I don't want to get off on a tangent, but a lot of those guys, we went for those. What is it? I guess it's those $100 hamburgers at the flight line. And flew to Hondo to get a hamburger.
They call them $100 hamburgers because your fuel's there and back.
$100 burgers. So anyway, back to I just want to give that out.
Well, if you're 101 years old,
It's the fuel. All right. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
so moved.
So moved.
Motion made, seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
We're done at 7:51.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to everyone too. Thank you all very much.